go again, ladies and gentlemen. Happy pre-Thanksgiving. The holiday is right around the corner, right? I mean, everybody's hustling and bustling, trying to get to the grocery store, inviting their friends, the relatives are coming in, the airports are busy. And the holiday season, what a great time, right? What a great time. So I encourage everybody in all this craziness, all this rush, to be grateful when it's hard. Because there's going to be some things that come up and you want to scream, pause and be grateful, right? Be considerate of others. And you know, I mean, there's so many people that are less fortunate than us that are sitting here today and we're watching this. And so let's be considerate of ways that maybe we can help some folks that need help, right? And that's really the real gift in life, is being able to provide help and to reach out to somebody, you know, that's hurting and pain. It may not be monetarily. It might just need a hug. It might just need a word. It might just need a smile. But remember, you know, that our responsibility is really to kind of share and give back, help other people along the way. And man, there's no better time than now to do it in the holiday season. So I encourage everybody to be safe, be considerate, and most important, think of others along the way. And let's have a great time. And don't eat too much, you know, because the Thursday is that what family, friends, and football, the 3 F's on Thursday, and then the whole thing starts off. So I encourage everybody during the football games, don't get too lost in that sauce. Make sure you're mingling and having some fun with those around you. Check in with your wife, who's probably in the kitchen working her tail off, or you might be in the kitchen. So wives, check out your husband, you know, go in there and see if you can be of service, you know, help out. I know we're used to sitting around and not doing things like that. Some of us, I'm the one that's in the kitchen helping, well, eating, testing, that's my help. But, you know, I like to clean up, be a part of that, right? So let's make sure that we pitch in as a family when we can, when we're visiting other people's houses. Have some courtesy around your guest and your host. Make sure, for those of you that don't know, you're going to somewhere, find something. Don't bring flowers, but find something that they can hand out in the party, if that's what it is, some wine, some cheese, something like that. I know I shouldn't have to say that, but you'd be surprised, right? Anyway, woo, man. I was talking to our guest just a few minutes ago, and she's eager to get here and drop some really powerful things. And we're going to talk about a subject that's really important, and we don't talk enough about it, and that's that single life, right? And man, she's been through some things. She's done some tremendous things, and her life has led her to this. So make sure you call in your girlfriends and your cousins, everybody that's single out there, and make sure you're ready to catch the message that she's going to drop to you, because it's going to really be from the heart. It's really going to be something you can use. It's really going to be something that can help change the direction you're having in your life. All right, so make sure you do that. All right, hey, so anyway, as always, I want to thank my team for putting this together, and thank all those folks that are sharing our message out there, showing up when they can during the day, and giving us the love that we need, you know, from Facebook, Instagram, you know, YouTube, all those places you guys are coming in from. We really welcome that. Thank you for doing that. And really, really thank my team for making this stuff happen. Now, we've been at this for a minute now, and they've really been grinding it out and doing a great job. So I want to say thank you to everybody there. And make sure you're subscribing, setting your notification bell out, and getting this message out there to as many people as you can. Help us get the message out. That stinking thinking no longer needs to control your life. That stinking thinking no longer has to be the first thought that you have in your mind. That stinking thinking can finally be the fuel that you need to step into your greatness, right? My name is Geoff Tyson, and I'm the host of Conversations with Geoff, and I'm known as the Comeback King because of my life has been, for those of you who don't know me, everyone that does knows that my life has been like many of yours, where it's been up and down struggles, man. I mean, battling physically with things, professionally, personally, health-wise, right? But the key to it and the power is in the comeback, man, right? The power is in the comeback. When you get knocked down, fall forward so you can see where you're going to land, right? When you get knocked down, get back up, man. If you get knocked down 7 times, get up 8. That's how life is. Listen, you know, I made a note. Let me find it. This says, the things that we have value, the things that we enjoy, the things that we know we're meant to do are not going to come easy. They're going to come with some time. They're going to come with some pain. They're going to come with some disappointments. That's just how it is. But here's the other thing I want to talk about, and that is during that struggle, during that setback, what is it that you're really supposed to learn in that time so that you don't repeat it? What is it that you're really supposed to learn at that time? so you can sharpen your skill set. You know, I mean, it's just a learning process. During that travel, the message is truly in the mess, and the power is in the comeback. You're either going through some stuff right now, or you just got out of it, or you're getting ready to start. That's the cycle of life. So I encourage you, as I look down through here and make sure I'm not missing anything, to do this for me. 3 things we always talk about. Number 1, become conscious of the conversation you're having with yourself about yourself, that chatter. I always ask, how many of you woke up this morning full of life, full of vigor, ready to go? Where you worked on yourself before you laid down and you're ready to go? And how many of you woke up after hitting the snooze 4 or 5 times? And it was, oh man, another day. And the whole message starts to go. It's really simple. We're only going, right? I mean, it's going to be one or the other. And then here's the thing, and this is what we talk about. And for those of you that say, man, I like what you're doing, Geoff, and you want to really figure out how to do the next step and get beyond where you are. I mean, we're going to have some things, but I want you to say this. Life really, when you're living life full out, you're really living in your purpose. And we talk about being in your purpose. So I want you to think about these 3 things. There's 10 things that my mentor talks about a lot, but I'm going to give you 3 right now. And one of them is, what is it that you really, really want in your life that you haven't achieved yet? That burning desire, when you think about it, man, your body just raises to get more. Your body gets warm when you think about it, right? What's that thing that you really want to have? I like to call it a burning desire, right? And nothing will stop you from reaching that. I mean, nothing will stop you. And your stinking thinking is going to be the key to getting free from that and getting to that, right? And the other one is showing up. If that's you, you got to show up. You got to do the work. You got to. No matter what you feel like, feelings don't bring intellect, right? Feelings don't necessarily have to be the thing that you respond to all the time. You got to show up, man. Whether you're sick, whether your friends don't do it, if that's what you want, then you got to be willing to show up. That's number 2. And number 3, you got to work your butt off to get it. I mean, you're already working for somebody else. I mean, you're already doing the things that these 3 things are ready for somebody else. It's your time now for your purpose. What are you willing to do, man? It's possible. You're going to hear from this young lady that nothing will keep you from reaching your destiny but yourself and your thoughts. So anyway, I want to say this to you. Learning is key. There is no next level without next level learning. Write that down. There's no next level without next level learning. And here today at Conversations with Geoff, we have the ability to help you get past that stinking thinking, to convert that stinking thinking to the things that you want to have in your life. Show you how to get it done. Right. Anyway, so I want to just take a moment to get you ready for our next guest. She's a tremendous young lady, big, bright smile, lights up the room, just a heart of gold, just done so many things. And she's an author, a coach, and a daughter, getting ready to have dinner, Thanksgiving dinner with Dad. Oh, man, I'm jealous. So I want you to get ready, get your pads out, and welcome our friend, once again, Rosirma Corney. Let me get her here. Let me see. All right. Hey. What's up, my friend?
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Good to see you, as always.
Good to see you as well. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I told him I'm just going to let you take a couple of minutes, tell people who you are, and then we'll kind of get into it.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am Rosirma Corney. I am a published author of the book Disempower the Disappointment, available on Amazon or on my website, roadtoresilient.com. It's available on audio as well, Nook, and all that other good stuff. And I'm a mindset coach. I help people get unstuck to go to their purpose and destiny. And I am a course creator for single young professionals who are busy cuffing instead of being busy buffing, and helping them to be satisfied in their singleness. And I have a YouTube page all about faith and resilience under Rosie Resilience. That's me.
I love that. We were talking about, and I got your book in the chat, so make sure she also had a hard copy and audio for Disempower the Disappointment. So, make sure you reach out and get that, right? I mean, so you said, so let's go back. You said something about buffs and, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
In the singleness spectrum, there's a term called cuffing, in
Mm.
which when it gets cold outside, no one wants to be alone, so they cuff to
Mm.
somebody, versus which I call buff. And I made this whole term, instead of cuffing, why don't you start buffing?
Yeah.
Meaning get fit, and get fit with finances, get fit physically, get fit emotionally, get fit personally. Just get to know yourself more during your single season versus cuffing to someone who will only most likely make things worse. Especially you're doing it because it's cold outside and the holidays are coming. You're doing it for desperate vibes of the fact that you don't want to be alone. So
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like compromising
right.
just so you're not alone. Kind of like accepting something that you really don't want to be in. It's kind of like that song I tell my granddaughter. It says, "You don't want no scrubs," trying to get some love from you, right?
Right.
You can avoid doing that by not cuffing. So
Correct.
what? So I guess so. What makes you the author with this message? Can you share? I mean, I'm sure there's some reasons behind
Yes.
this whole piece. Yes.
Because I was talking to my godson. Well, I am talking to my godson. He's young 20s, and for the past maybe 3 years, maybe, we've been talking about relationships.
Mhm.
And I said this statement to him like, I'm pouring out my heart to you because I did it all already.
Mm.
You don't need to do it. And he was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm learning a lot. And when I said that, I was like, I need to write a book about this because, I mean, yes, he should get everything that I'm learning. And by God's grace, he is absorbing it. And he's like, Nene, trust me, which is godmother in Creole, by the way, in case you're like, who's
Okay.
Nene? Nene, I hear you, like, I'm listening. So I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm in my 40s. And I guess, like, for me, oh, I guess for me, when you get into your 40s, you look back and you see the things that you did wrong. And that's where I'm at right now,
Mm.
to write it all out. And God willing, I do leave a legacy that my next generation will know, hey, this is all the stuff I did wrong.
Yeah.
There's other mistakes you could do.
Yeah.
Don't do these. So then you could live a better life and a smarter life, because I know there's this term like YOLO,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, honestly, you live once,
Mm.
and every day you're dying.
Yeah.
So it's either learn from your friends, family, or repeat the mistakes that already were done and you're losing life.
Yeah.
So it's just best to have wisdom from the people who've gone through it already, to be like, you know what? It makes sense. I don't want to repeat that mistake. Let me learn and just avoid it. And as I said, there's a million ways to skin a cat, as they say. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, I like that. As I'm listening to you, I'm thinking back, man. I wish I had a book to read when I was a young single, because I was just a messed up guy, and I was terrible at relationships, and this is not about me today. So I encourage anybody out there that is because there's something I think, you can tell me if I'm wrong, when we settle, when we cuff ourselves to someone that we know is not right, there's generally some things going on with us
Correct.
that we need to correct, we need to fix, we
Correct.
need to deal with, right? And instead of
Correct.
saying lying, some other folks, appreciate you guys being here. So, what can you talk about with somebody that's in that space? That's like,
Yes. To
mm,
know yourself.
mm,
Hence why it's important to enjoy your single season, because when you are dating, you're busy getting to know somebody else
mm,
versus getting to know yourself, versus while you're with that person, to be like, okay, what triggered me?
mm,
Versus getting mad that you got triggered, ask yourself why you got triggered. Because if you got triggered, that means you got offended. If you got offended, that means there's something unresolved, not healed, that needs to be healed. We are always healing. Like to the day we die, we be healing. So there's there's no such thing as a healed person. There's a whole person, and there's a healing person. So you want someone to be whole and healing. And there are many people out there who are broken and unhealed because they haven't taken the time to get to know themselves. They get busy with other people, hoping that will be their band-aid, but under a band-aid, you're still bleeding. So it's very important during the single season to get to know yourself. As you can see with media, all these divorces, and all these divorces are mainly people who did not use the single season wisely and got with the wrong people. And then once you're healed, you're looking at this person like, I don't need you anymore. And then you want to divorce them. And it's like, what? So, yes.
Yeah. No, that's good. And I wrote down, ask why you got triggered. And this made me think about today, my wife and I love my wife, man. I know it's single, but I think the trigger piece is still important. And there's some certain things that, I still have some character challenges in relationships, right? I mean, I'm not perfect in any way, but I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to work on myself. And there's certain things that can trigger me. And I got triggered and responded in a way that wasn't the right way. But then the smoke settled. I came back and said, hey, look, you know what? This is what happened. This is my part. And I'm sorry. And so I've only learned that from doing what you're talking about doing before I got married. And that was work on myself. What do you tell people that I've tried to work on myself? I just, I think I'm okay, but then they really haven't. And then they get in a situation and they're right back because the same person shows up, different dress on, different shirt on, same person. Let's talk about those people. How can we help them?
Yes. So the main thing, as you just said, it's a process. We're all in progress and in process. So you could say like, yes, I'm good. I got healed with this. All right. And then someone would come and then you're like, ah! And then you get offended again. And then it's once again for you to sit down with yourself and get to know yourself. The best friend you should be to is to yourself. And the way to do that is journal. And you can check my Amazon. Also, I have a lot of journals out there that I made. And because I'm all about journaling and just writing things out. So then you could do your own self-therapy or go to a therapist to get to know yourself and be like, okay, why does this trigger me? Like, perfect example, I shared on my Tea Time, True Time that I have on my YouTube page. And I was talking about how I got offended. And I got offended by someone because one, I came out of a women's conference and the main topic was, I'm a masterpiece. Came out and within 5 seconds, this person said, you're mean. And I said, are you serious? And I went to my car and I started crying because I was just like, I just came out of a conference where the main topic was, let out of what people have said to you in the past and everything like that. And maybe the first 18 years of my life, I was bullied by words. So I let that out. I was like, okay, I'm healed now. I'm gonna let that go. It's all good. I'm a masterpiece. God made me a work of art. And then 5 seconds later, the devil came. And I was pissed. I was pissed. And I was still on church property, okay? So God had me. That's all I have to say. Because I could have easily went off on this man. Okay?
Yes.
So got in my car, cried off to God and everything like that. And then I think it was Wednesday. Yes, it was Wednesday. And I saw this person and I was like, hey, I would like to talk to you privately. And he said, sure. And I was like, you know what? I came out of a conference and it was about being a masterpiece. And for you to have the audacity to tell me I mean was rude.
Yeah.
And if you have something to say about me, don't attack my I am, attack an action I have done.
That's
so
right.
I said, hey, is there an action I have done that was mean to you that you would like to address with me? And he was like, no, no. And I just looked at him and I was like, okay, God bless you. Bye.
Yeah.
And I just walked away. And as I said, I was all God. Okay, trust. Because, and I was in church property. Okay. I think because I was in church property, the Holy Spirit was there to give me the words.
Helping you out.
Because there's a lot more words that I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, it showed me he needs healing. Yeah. And 2, I got healed. And it made me realize, like, okay, if someone, again, God willing, not comes and says, you are this, I'm like, yeah, whatever, because
yes.
I know I'm good.
Yes.
Maybe next time reapproach your words with me and, whatever. But it helped me know, like, okay, this person clearly has issues. And I have to be okay with people coming at me with wrong words because it's life.
Well, that thank you for sharing that, by the way. I mean, it's because a lot of people wouldn't have been as honest and raw right there with that piece of it. And I commend you because I'm still learning about where I'm at, church property or not. I probably not. Keeping it real with you, right? I mean, I'm a work in progress. I always tell it. So I love that you talk about that, and I wrote down you had some suggestions around journaling, and because sounds like to me you came from that conference and you got some deep, you were able to get some things out that were kind of hindering you, and we all have luggage, we all have baggage, right? And being able to get comfortable, and only we can fix that baggage,
right?
And it's unfortunate that people of color are hesitant around seeking help in that area if they need it, right? But a lot of times, some of the things that you're talking about, like doing a journal and starting to look at your behaviors, is enough. And then working with someone like yourself to kind of guide you along, I think, is really important.
Right.
And your book, I have to get it and read it. It sounds interesting. The title, it's in the chat too. Disempower the disappointments.
Yes.
That to me, that says that somewhere in your life, the disappointments were running the show for you.
Right.
Were keeping you stuck. What was that like? Tell me about that.
It was hard because, hence the title of the book, Disempower the Disappointment, because I gave the disappointment a lot of power to make me feel stuck, to make me feel I wasn't worth living, to make me feel depressed, had suicidal thoughts. I just really didn't like myself or the life I was living because of the disappointment. And once I read a book about Where Will You Be, I believe the title is, I still keep messing up that title to this day, but it's by Valerie Burton, who is a coach. And once I read that and she was like, find your why. And I realized I lost my why. And that led me back to get my power back and make the disappointment a divine appointment, hence disempowering the disappointment. And I believe, like, in life, especially with, the holidays coming, yes, there's a lot to be grateful for, but for some people, there's a lot not to be grateful for. And, you avoid people because, unforgiveness, bitterness, there's a lot of craziness in this world, but you have to make sure that you empower yourself and find ways to apologize. I just finished reading this book called The Apology Languages. And I shared it on my podcast about, you have to know your apology language, just like love language, because the way one person apologizes is different from the way you want to be apologized to.
Yes,
So,
yes.
for example, if I offended you, I'm sorry is good enough for you. But if you offended me, I'm sorry is not going to be good enough for me. Like, I need more than that. Like, I need, like, you feel hurt that you did that. Like, it honestly affected you that you hurt me.
Yes.
And that you were hurt by your action. Because if you're not hurt by your action, you likely do it again. And so there's 5 steps of apologizing, 5 ways actually of apologizing that works for certain people. And, during this holiday season, maybe the statement that I hate my mom saying to me all the time, but it makes sense. Be the bigger person, be the peacemaker, and to apologize, even if the person is not caring or apologetic, because in the end is about you being healed versus them giving you an apology. So
Yeah. I love that you said it's about, it's not about them, it's about you getting healed, and oftentimes though that will shift that person. They may not respond right away to that, but then they'll walk away and realize, man, I was really kind of a BBBB, right? Whatever that word they want to use, or I could have done it differently, right? And I love the 5 ways to apologize, because my wife is like, she's okay with me sometimes saying I'm sorry, and then sometimes I need to have an explanation behind what it is. So it varies. Sometimes it's a mixture of those 5 ways of doing it. So that sounds like that was a good episode. I'm gonna go back and send me that link, man. I'd like to check it out.
yes.
I need to learn as much as I can, right? Apology language is so true.
Yes.
And assuming that the person is accepting your apology is another crazy, whole other discussion, right? Because if you're saying I'm sorry and the person's demeanor doesn't change, then you might need to think about something else.
Right. It's like, sorry, it's not touching it. Like, I need more. I need more.
No.
It's really good. Especially in the back of the book, it has, I believe, like 20 questions or statements. So then you can learn what your apology language is.
Yeah.
And I'm bilingual. So I have 2 languages because it came really close together. So they call it bilingual, where you have 2 of the 5.
Okay.
But it was like a good way for me to know, like, okay, these are the top 2 that I need in an apology. And then, certain circumstances will evoke another one. So depending on, what happens.
Man, I'm gonna really get that, because the 5 love languages was something I read a long time ago. I identified, my love language is service, and my wife is something else, and so it's knowing yourself.
Right.
Really. I mean, what you're saying here is knowing, spend the time to get to know yourself.
Right.
With people like yourself, reach out and say, hey, I need some help. I saw you. So how do people get a hold of you?
Yes.
I mean, we could talk about, I love this subject. We could talk about it forever, right? I mean, we're already almost out of time. I want to make sure people know how to get a hold of you, and maybe give you one more last stop before we wrap this up.
No problem. You could find me on roadtoresilient.com. Also, you could find me on my YouTube page, which is Rosie Resilient. And also you could find me on hello@roadtoresilient.com. Email me anytime. Would love to hear from you. And also I be having a podcast and my Tea Time Truth Time, where I sip my tea and tell the truth of that week. And I just love to share what I'm going through and the knowledge that God has been telling me through books or through life. And I'm writing my second book about singleness and the lessons I have learned. Hope to drop it by February 2024. We will see.
Nice.
And yeah, that's what I'm up to.
Well, pay attention too, because I think you'll have some class program coming out in
Yes.
the end of
January.
the year, beginning of January. That's going to be focused on singles, and
Yes.
so I would encourage everybody to go to those sites and reach out and touch her. Because every time I talk to her, it's just a deeper appreciation for someone that truly is in her purpose. And I got to say this, power is in the comeback. That disappointment, right? That's the process. That's where you are. I mean, in overcoming that, I could just see your when you thought about it, speaking about it, your whole disposition change. I mean, you just relive that overcoming that, right? And then knowing what the message is in the mess,
Yes.
right? And it's kind of like we talked about at the beginning of the show. The power is in the comeback, man.
Right.
And now don't give up. And you're living proof of that. And there's so many more things that you could probably talk about, but we just don't have the time to do today. But I love what you brought to the show today. I really look forward to continuing. Maybe we can get together and huddle up and come back with, this is a request, come back with something that both male and female can use that are really willing to get married, right? Getting ready to be ready to be married worthy, right? To be ready to be that person, because there's so much around that. And divorces in marriage for people of color is a much higher rate than anybody else, right? And I think that these tools that you're doing, this message that you're giving, will be a good part in maybe turning that tide and changing that. So think about that, if you would. I think we would be interested in doing that. So any last words before I let you go?
I would say to be grateful and to be with a giving heart, and to make sure when you are giving thanks and having giving heart, to do it cheerfully, not with resentment, not with bitterness, not with I'm giving to get. You give just to give, and to give forgiveness. Life is short, and you don't know what tomorrow will bring for you or that person. And it's just best for you to just forgive and let God do the healing, let God do the reparations, because life is good. And just to have goals for next year now versus wait till January 1st. And for people who are single, men and women, get to know yourself, love yourself, because then that teaches someone else how to love you.
Man, I love it. Well, listen, thank you so much. I hope you have a tremendous dinner with Dad for Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
And go back, ladies and gentlemen. Check out what she said. All the things. I mean, I'm supposed to be paying attention, but I'm taking notes here too, and then all these things that go on with the gifts of the smile and the person behind it. So thank you. It's always great to have you, Rosirma, and keep being who you are, because we need you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Talk to you again.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Hey, listen, thank everybody for that popped in and out, and you're gonna get the replay. I would encourage you, if you can't get all of it now, go back and listen to it. I mean, there were so many different things that she talked about in the book, Disempower the Disappointment. And the title speaks volumes right there by itself. And just some of the things she said, suggestions around journaling, spending some time doing that. And obviously, if you need help, you can reach out to her. Disappointment, the power's in the comeback, man. Whatever it is, listen, I'm telling you, we're all going to face challenges. We're all going to face the things that either going to bend us over and keep us stuck, or we're going to raise our shoulders up and say, not today. I can, I will, and I must. I know that there's a message in this mess. I know that there's a power in the comeback. I'm not sure what it is, but it's there. And for those of you that are really saying, man, I hear you, Geoff, I'm not sure what to do next, I encourage you to reach out to me. I mean, there's 3 things I talked about out of 10 things that you can begin to do right away, right? Number 1 is figure out what it is, like she said it too. What is it you want to do in your life? What do you want to really get done in this world while you're here? Who do you want to help? What's your real purpose, man? What is that? And Woo, I gotta go back and check and then show up for yourself. No one else is gonna do this life for you but you. You gotta do your life the way your life is meant to be done, or it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna say, well, listen to it again. We are responsible for the outcomes of our lives. We have to do the work, whatever you believe in. If it's God, you pray for that and his assistance, the universe, whatever that is, but we still have to do the work. It's our responsibility to do the work. Great show today. Lots going on being single. You single folks, check her out for real. So as I close this up, thank everybody. Have a great holiday. And remember, subscribe and share this. Set up the notifications. And if you're really thinking about, man, trying to uncover what it is that stinking thinking's got you and why you're in pause. Hey, Mike McKenna. Thank you, man. Appreciate you very much. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Let's continue to be great. Stop that stinking thinking from holding you back. Use that as fuel to step into your greatness and understand the power is in the comeback, man. And the message, the gift is in the mess. All right, guys, take care. Talk to you soon.